Oh, what the slap happy is up, YouTube? It's your boy Disco on the track, and today I'm gonna talk about Mortal Kombat 1 again. I hope this is my last video. I mean, honestly, I wish I didn't care so much, but this is just kind of. Oh, this goes into a bigger issue, but to begin, but I went to a friend's house and he played Mortal Kombat 1, me and two other people, and I'm the type of person that has predisposed opinions or what's the word I'm looking for? I have things that I pretty much know what's gonna be in games nowadays or how they're gonna change because it's a remake or well a reboot. So, and it's a modern reboot, and we are going to get controversial up in this house. Because in this house, we are some controversial little boys. So, anyway, I wrote down a list of like things that I know they're going to do, that's going to be in this game because the Nether Realms today is not the Nether Realms that existed when Mortal Kombat was actually progressive and actually pushing boundaries, having violent, sexy women and masculine men, back then, and then people seen that and freaked the fuck out. Now it's a modern company made for modern people. They say the games companies have matured, quote unquote, which means, well, to me, yeah, we cut back artistically, we cut back on the story, we cut back mechanically. The game's obviously going to be $70. It's probably not going to work day one, or if it does, it'll be shoddy day one, but we'll fix it. Oh yeah, and our upper management are fucking weirdos. That's what it means when they say the games or the game companies have quote unquote matured. At least in my mind, and I've yet to be wrong on really any of those assessments. But anyway, I had a list. I don't know where the fuck the list is, but I'm gonna go off memory. Okay, number one I knew they were gonna do with this game before I even played it was Johnny Cage was not going to be the same Johnny Cage in any other Mortal Kombat. They simply are incapable of making a character that was like Johnny Cage in the older Mortal Kombat. Johnny Cage was crude, he was an egotistic, narcissist, said misogynist things, an asshole, and those were flaws, but he's also willing to do what's best. He's also, at least in the newer ones, a good parent. He was also he was the type of guy you would have on your side, even though you couldn't take his personality. But they absolutely could not make Johnny Cage the way he used to be in the new Mortal Kombat. And I'm gonna see again if I'm recording or if I'm streaming. I'm recording. This is good. Another one is, again, we're getting controversial. They're gonna demasculinize the men. Give them, cover them up. They're all going to have about the same personality. They can have flaws because, again, modern, mature gaming company have to, fuck the characters. They may make a couple jokes, but it's more like current year things. So they'll be quirky and edgy. They'll have nice little Disney or Marvel style quips, but they'll never really build upon any of that. They'll pretty much just be generic. They'll defeminize the females. They'll cover them up, give them all cellulitis, give them the broad jawline, and they will all look the same. Like every single one of them, at least if you look at the portrait, would look the same, which makes sense for certain characters, but for others, don't really make sense at all. Oh yeah, and they're also what am I thinking about? Pregnant pause. Oh yeah, they'll also make their personalities dull. Like they'll all have the same personality, and that is strong female character number one, strong female character number two, strong female character number three. Like you get what I'm getting at with these quote unquote mature companies. Like they really need to cut back on artistic decision, but they ended up just probably just going to end up making. And then this is before I even played the game. These are just predisposed things that I thought about they were going to have in the game. Another thing is, well, they'll. Another thing. What am I thinking about? Another thing is they'll bring back the older characters because of another point. They're gonna, at least in this, what I wrote down, I'm pretty sure was they were gonna go back to the whole multiverse idea where there's different universes, this, that, and the other, and different, and they'll bring back cameos of older characters, but again, they will not be the same. They'll not look the same as the characters that you played in the older Mortal Kombat. They'll just be the covered up dual versions, and I even had an asterisk. I know I put this asterisk on the list that they'll have female versions of established characters, but whatever. And those are like what 3 fucking points. The whole multiverse idea, because they're running out of ideas. The whole having female versions of male characters and maybe male versions of female characters. I don't know. And the whole bringing back of older characters will also probably pull the whole. I think another one of the points was they're going to pull the whole timeline bullshit. So it's not actually going to be a remake in the sense of what you think. It'll be a remake in the sense of it's a completely different timeline. And I know I had other points, but I do remember being 95% correct on at least most of my points. So, like, on the timeline thing, apparently, well, I thought it was going to be a different multiverse for the Mortal Kombat 1, but apparently there's different timelines, and if you do the drinking game on how many times they said the word timeline, you'll probably have a bad. You'll be rushed to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. Like you just commit suicide right then and there because that game would be impossible to play. Like you just die right then and there. And again, another point I had. Oh yeah, they will have like the Titans, which are supposedly the strongest characters, but it's that situation where your character whoops ass when you're playing it, but in a cutscene they get fucked up, and they'll probably do that for these characters. Like you'll be whooping ass the whole time with say Garrus, one of the Titans, I think his name is. But in cutscene mode, he'll just get completely wiped. And that's the same thing with most of the characters. And I think that was most of my points. Oh yeah, I also said they will attack. Well, I mean, this isn't really a point. I mean, they'll try to attack Earthrealm again. Outworld will try to attack Earthrealm because obviously. Oh yeah, I also said they would demasculinize Shao Kahn, and even the version of Shao Kahn that they would bring back from other dimensions, quote unquote, will not be the same Shao Kahn that you remember in older games because, well, of course they will. That was another point. Shao Kahn will also not be the big bad motherfucker he used to be in the other Mortal Kombats because, again, that's just the way. And I was right on that point too. I think I was only half right on the whole dimension multiverse thing. And what was the point there was a couple I was wrong about. Like I thought it would only take place in Outworld, which was wrong. I thought they would reuse the same assets of the stadium from the old games, which I guess I was wrong. In fact, I think you don't actually fight in an arena. You just sort of throw down right then and there whenever you're doing the Mortal Kombat, which doesn't make any sense to me. I also said that some characters won't even be back; they'll just be in name only. Which, yep, Kotal Khan was there on in name only, and yeah. Oh yes, there's also another point where when they have other versions of themselves, but they would battle it out fucking Avenger style. I was 100% correct on that too. So yeah, and here's what I'm trying to get at, right? Because if you know what the hell the story's gonna be, even if you don't play the fucking game yet, is that not considered spoilers? Like you just have this preconceived notion in your head of what the story and what everything's gonna be. Then you play the game and it's literally exactly what the fuck you were thinking was gonna be. Like, is that not spoilers? I don't know. I mean, I think that's why people watch animes because you can't get those preconceived notions because you'll have like five isekais that okay, you have the hero dying and going to another world, but each like Re Zero is different from the time I died and reincarnated as slime, which is different from jobless reincarnation. You know, like which is different from Overlord. Like you have the four isekai. Well, Overlord would it be considered an isekai? Yeah, whatever. You have four isekais that are completely different as far as plot, as far as characters, as far as everything. But then you have a Marvel movie, and it's like, oh well, I pretty much know what all these Marvel movies are going to be. It's just they're just going to have the same plot. The villains are going to be shit. The heroes are going to always win. You need diversity because they're a mature company. I mean, diversity is fine and all, but I mean, diversity has always been in games. It's always been in movies. It's always been in comics. It's just they think it's this selling point, and they want to remove all this stuff, the diversity that has always been there in these mediums, which boggles my fucking mind. But whatever. But yeah, I was 95% of everything, of all my, you know, preconceived notions of the game before I even played it. And I don't know. I consider it spoilers. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Like right now, I'm Johnny Cage right here. I'm like fuck you for spoiling me because it's like you know what the game's gonna be when it's made by these Western entertainment companies. You just know what the story's gonna be or whatever. Have fun, I guess.